Boy, I couldn't agree more. Jonah, look what I see. There's a box over there. I wonder what's in it.
Toys!
I bet you better go look.
Sure!
Yes?
I really appreciate what you guys have been doing. Getting Jonas and my things over here and setting up that ramp for the wheelchair. It's great.
Oh, come on. That ramp is just temporary. We're going to be walking before we know it. Right, Evie?
Right.
You're telling me, I couldn't believe the way that the therapists were working with me today. I thought they were going to make me jog home.
Good. I'm glad you're not wasting your time. Yeah. David says... Well, I'm glad.
Any word from Hogan and Patty?
Not since Patty called from the airport on their way to Ireland. Oh, boy, I hope they find Quinn.
Joe, you know about Dad's journal, don't you? You know that Dad was set up for the payroll robbery by Malcolm and Judge Henderson?
I think they're answers to a whole lot of questions besides that payroll robbery right here in Henderson.
What are you talking about?
I want to know who killed Susie.
Well, at least someone was expecting me.
Jeremiah. Oh, it's so good you're home. Tell me, how's the trip?
Well, it may be premature, but I just think we've gotten the jump on the opposition.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Now, I'm beginning to think we might just win this thing after all.
Jeremiah, please. Let me do this with you. Let's win together.
What's gotten into you, Ella? Of course we win together. You always share my victories.
No, I don't mean the other ways. I mean together, really together. I want us to get married.
What happened between Judge Henderson and the McClearys took place a long time ago. I don't know why we're bringing Susie's death into this, and we all know that David was responsible.
Do we? Do we know that?
Are you saying the judge was involved in some way?
I'm saying a whole lot of very strange things are happening, things that just don't add up.
Wait a minute, Joe. Is there something you should tell me? Please, let me know.
All right. To begin with, when I found David Glenn passed out in his car, the first thing I noticed was the smell of cigar smoke.
So?
David doesn't smoke. And later on, when I went to Klein's apartment, right after he was murdered, I noticed the same smell.
Wait a minute. The police report said that Klein died of natural causes.
I know they did. But that's just too easy. It's another one of those things that doesn't add up. And remember, Cagney, he was connected to the judge and the treasurer through those gold coins.
Oh, wait, I think you're moving too fast here. If you smelled smoke in Klein's apartment and in David's car, I think the suspicion would point to Klein.
Except that Klein didn't smoke either. There was a sign on his desk that said allergic to smoke.
How is it connected to the judge?
Well, they always say the third time's a charm, right?
You smelled the same smoke in the judge's house.
Precisely, my dear Watson. Not only the smell of the cigar smoke, but the cigars themselves, a whole box of them. And I checked with a tobacconist. They are specially made just for the judge.
So you're saying that the judge was driving David's car?
I think it's a very real possibility.
It's a possibility. Yes, but that's based on circumstantial evidence. Even if you did smell the smoke in David's car, that could mean any number of things. Maybe David picked somebody up.
It wasn't just the smoke. It was also this.
Whose is this?
I thought it was David's. It was found in his car, but he swears he never laid eyes on it.
That glove. That's why Jerry was so upset.
Upset when?
Wait a minute. Yesterday afternoon, Jerry came bursting into my hospital room. That's why.
Yesterday afternoon, I had a very long talk with Jerry in the judge's study. He left there pretty upset.
And then he came to see me. He said he was in trouble and he gave me something to keep secret.
Marriage.
Why does that surprise you? Oh, I've been with you all these years, ever since your wife died.
Ella, it's just that, but you know how close I am to you.
Yes, I do, and that's why I think it's time now to make our relationship official. Oh, that sounds so cold. I mean legitimate.
Ella.
Well, don't I deserve it? Who has been with you all along, right from the very start? Whose idea was it for you to bail out of the mill when it started to fail?
You are my right hand, but I am running for the U.S. Senate.
Mm-hmm. Because I encouraged you to enter politics?
Yes, that's true.
I did more than encourage you. I helped you with very important political connections. Oh, I have waited for this day, Jeremiah, so patiently. And I haven't complained, have I? And I've stopped at nothing to protect you. Nothing.
You're my right hand, and everything I owe is because of you, and I acknowledge that freely, but what you're asking is impossible.
No, I don't know that.
Yes, you do. You know that the minute we married, your life would be under instant scrutiny.
So? I have nothing to hide.
Oh, Ella.
I don't. Jeremiah, that is all in the past. It's buried. I can't imagine how anybody could possibly discover that now.
You more than anyone would know better than that. This isn't state politics. They play for keeps on the national level.
And I play for keeps, too. That's the only way I know how.
Yes, you have, from the day we met. But the minute we married, the top muckrakers in the country would be after you.
I'd stop them.
You couldn't do that. There would be too many of them. And before long, they'd find out how it was that we met. And how it was that a young woman had so many contacts in the government.
No,
and as soon as they found out that, they would shout it to the world. The Judge Henderson's bride was...
Go on, say it.
A high-class call girl.
Obviously, Jerry is trying to protect his grandfather.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
It does seem strange. Why would the judge be driving David's car?
And how could he have an accident? He wasn't drunk. I hardly saw him drinking that night.
Maybe it wasn't an accident.
That's what I told Lieutenant Grant. That car came straight at us like it was on purpose.
We swerved, but he kept right on coming.
But why would the judge want to drive us off the road?
Maybe he didn't know it was you.
That's it. It was Quinn's car.
Of course. And Quinn was very close to figuring out who set his father up for that payroll robbery.
Wait a minute. There's something else that happened I didn't even tell you.
What?
Susie finally found out who owns Liberty House.
You're kidding. Who?
Judge Henderson.
Well. Things are coming together, aren't they?
We tried to force Olson to come forward with the information, but I think Judge Henderson got to him first.
That's why he's gone?
He cleared out that night.
I hope he didn't go the same way Klein did.
You think the judge would kill for that?
I think there's only one way to find out. I'm going to run over there for a little
No.
Joe, yeah, Evie's right. I mean, if what we suspect is true, then I don't think it would be really safe.
I'm not going to have a big confrontation with the judge. I'm going to find Jerry. He's got to tell us the truth. And we'll find out who killed Susie.
Once a call girl, always a call girl. Is that it?
The families of candidates for national office have to be above reproach.
Yes, I remember that, like Caesar's wife. By the way, where was she when he needed her?
Believe me, I have thought of this before. We We could marry. We might even succeed on a state level, but Washington would be out of the question, and all the years of preparation would come to nothing. You deserve everything that I can give you, but I just can't give you this. You know, winning is always the best revenge. And we're going to win. I can feel it.
It's not time to rest on our laurels yet.
That's my girl. We'll show it. Now, where's Patty? I've got some work for her to do.
You forget about her.
What? Ella?
I'm the one you trust. I should think you'd remember that. Haven't I proven that again and again?
I'm tired. I think I'll take a nap.
Don't keep on proving it, Jeremiah. I will. Nothing's going to stand in our way. Dennings.
He told me I could come in.
Mrs. Turner, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for the judge's grandson.
He isn't here, and I have no idea when he'll be back.
Oh. Well, thank you. Miss Hobbs.
Mrs.
Hobbs. Oh, of course. Perhaps you and I should talk.
About what?
Your employer. I do admire loyalty, but I think in this case it's being used to cover up the truth.
You're right. Maybe we should talk.
I'm glad you feel that way.
But not here. The judge is back, and he might walk in.
What do you suggest?
My car is just outside. We could go for a drive.
Fine.
Why don't you go along? I'll just get my things.
Get out of this chair. If I found out that Susie was murdered...
Cagney, don't do this to yourself. If the judge is guilty, he'll pay.
That's right. That's right. Jo will be back soon, and she'll bring Jerry with her, and then we'll know. We'll see.
You don't think anything will happen, do you?
To Jo? Not if she sticks to what she says and only talks to Jerry. Otherwise, things could get dangerous. Very dangerous.
Mrs. Turner, don't you think you've kept me in suspense long enough?
Perhaps I should simply begin at the beginning.
And what would that be?
The morning after the crash in which Susie McCleary was killed.
And what about that morning?
You've probably read most of this in the newspaper. I found Dr. Glenn passed out behind the wheel of his car in the Liberty House garage.
Go on.
I noticed something at the time I simply didn't attach much importance to it. You see, I had to lean way into the car in order to... I had to lean way in order to wake him. And I noticed the very strong smell of...
Smell of what? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you allergic to smoke?
No. No, of course not. Go right ahead.
I wonder if you'd find my lighter in there. It's so hard to draw the same.